So we have two questions that will start us off today. These questions come from students, both freshmen at the Hood River Valley High School. The first is Eileen Castro.
My name is Eileen Castro, and I'm 14 years old. My family relies on the Affordable Care Act, and your bill would have taken our health care away. My brother especially needs health care coverage. My parents pay taxes so that you can have health care. Why would you take away my family's health care? I want to know why you could do this to my family.
The second speaker from the high school, or question asker from the high school, is Morgan Totten. Oh no, you're not Morgan, you're Josie Notaboom, I'm sorry. So Josie is also a freshman at Hood River Valley High School. Thank you.
My name is Josie Notaboom, and I'm 14 years old. I am a freshman at Hood River Valley High School. I do not like what is happening to undocumented immigrants. We need all the immigrants in our community. Many of the people being deported have not committed any crimes. These are my friends and their families. I also think these policies have made many people live in fear and have encouraged racist people to act crazy. What will you do to stop these deportations?
And now Morgan Totten, a senior at Hood River Valley High School and a Somos Uno Club member, is going to be reading a story written by a young man. Teacher Nan Notaboom at the high school works with many students on their college essays and applications. And she asked one of her students who's from a mixed status family if we could today anonymously share some of his writing. And so Morgan's going to read that statement for us.
Every day, I see my dad come home from working all day in the orchards. During peak season, my mom drops off my baby sister at my aunt's house to sort fruit in the packing house. My parents are the hardest working people I know. They pay taxes, own their home, and would never intentionally break the law. They love the United States, and they love their family, but they are undocumented. They came here for a better life, and they brought me along. I'm lucky. I have DACA. My little brother was born here, and my baby sister was born here. This is my family, and this is my country. But many people think we don't belong here. They just label us as criminals, anchor babies, aliens. Yes, my parents came from another country, but we really are Americans, and we are willing to work hard to earn the American dream. Our American dream has turned to one of fear now, thanks to Donald Trump and people who follow him. We are scared that me, my dad, or my mom could be deported at any time. Even though we are not criminals, ICE is targeting anyone, unlike he said. We are scared our family will be split up. We will have to choose to be together as a family or to live in a dangerous foreign country, because Mexico is foreign to us. America is our home, not Mexico. One of my friend's moms was deported when he was 3 years old. He and his little brother moved to Mexico with her, but his dad had to stay here to work and make money. He would send most of his money to support them in Mexico. He got to visit them only twice a year. His mom came back to the US a few years ago with both boys. Now his family is together again, but for how long? His mom is scared to leave the house. I want to go to college and become an immigration lawyer to fight to make better immigration laws. My dad just wants to work and see me be successful. My mom just wants to work and keep her family together. I want to leave for college knowing that my family will be okay without me, but nowadays, I'm not so sure. I am worried that they will be threatened by ICE or by someone whose racism is now encouraged by our government. I am sad, and I am scared, and I am worried. I hope things will change soon, because I love this country. I love my country.
Representative Walden, I want you to stand up for the good of all American people, not just for Republican people. I'm a registered Democrat, but I have voted for you for many years across party lines. I did this because I thought you would always do what was in your heart you thought was in the best interest of all Americans. I expect the same from you as you cast your vote for the bills before the House. I'll be watching because I feel these bills are destructive. As many parents and grandparents, such as I, we are concerned about the direction the nation is headed as a safe home for them to grow up. These children should be the top priority, as they are our future. I ask you to look carefully at these bills and cross the party line in order to make the right decision for our nation.
Okay, this question is for Representative Walden. I would ask him, how do you justify 8 years of obstruction of President Obama and the refusal to grant a hearing to Mr. Garland, Obama's choice for the Supreme Court, and then changing the rules to approve Gorge?
Mine's short. For Greg Walden, do you intend to support the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, or NPV Compact for short? Many Oregonians are outraged that for the second time in 5 elections, the candidate America voted for is not president.
Hello, Mr. Walden. My name is Deborah Ferrer. I've lived in the Dalles since 1973, except for 4 years away at Oregon State University. I am now retired after teaching high school biology and genetics for 32 years. In 2008, Congress acted intelligently and passed a law we call GINA, the Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act, to prohibit employers and health insurance companies from discriminating against individuals on the basis of their most private and personal information, their genetic makeup. That bill passed with 420 yes votes and only 3 no votes in the House. You, Mr. Walden, voted for it. Thank you. Recently, however, House Bill 1313 was introduced by your Republican colleagues. It is euphemistically known as Preserving Employee Wellness Programs Act. It would take away the protection GINA gave us. It would allow employers and their insurance companies to penalize employees who choose not to provide access to their genetic information in the form of higher insurance cost. House Bill 1313 has already passed in the House Education and Workforce Committee, with all 22 Republicans voting for it and all 17 Democrats voting against it. Currently, if I understand it correctly, it is in the subcommittee on health within the Energy and Commerce Committee, which you, Mr. Walden, chair. Mr. Walden, you and your fellow Republicans have just sold out our private internet browsing history. Do you now intend to give away our even more private genetic information? If you had been a student in my genetics class, you would have learned enough about genetics and enough about bioethics to understand that this bill paves the way for discrimination against individuals on the basis of their genetic makeup. Mr. Walden, in case you have forgotten, you work for us. We want you to know that it is not okay to trade our genetic privacy for insurance company profits. You voted to protect our rights in 2008. Don't take them away now. Please protect our genetic privacy and vote no on House Bill 1313.
Mr. Walden, 2 years ago when you spoke at a town hall here in Hood River, you talked about your concerns about climate change, and you mentioned the fact that you were actually going from meeting to meeting driving a hybrid car. Last year, the Environmental Protection Agency issued regulations which would require the oil and gas industry to plug leaks in their wells and pipelines of methane. Methane, which is probably the single most destructive of the greenhouse gases that we have. Now, your Republican colleagues have introduced into both houses of Congress a bill to overturn that rule and allow the continued emissions of waste methane, not methane that is being used for any purpose. You have it in your power as a leader of the Republicans in the House to pull that bill. It would be the height of hypocrisy to drive a hybrid car and then vote to allow the waste leaks of methane. Please don't be a hypocrite. Please pull that bill. Thank you.
To meet regularly with a group of immigrants and Latino leaders as well as Anglo leaders. And after months of trying, a few years ago, Mr. Walden, you came to meet with us. We were grateful you could work that into your schedule. At that meeting, you told us that you knew that picking fruit is skilled labor. And you said, my father was an orchardist. I knew it was something I couldn't do. You also talked about how you knew that all workers pay taxes. So part of our ask, as before the meeting ended, was to ask you to use your leadership and your knowledge to inform others with whom you meet and with whom you work about those realities. From everything we have seen, you have chosen not to do that. And we are very concerned. Thank you.